Every minute of our videos represents hours of dedication and hard work. We invest 2 full days into crafting a 20-minute story for you. Your subscription is a small but significant way to acknowledge our effort and fuel our journey. Please subscribe and join us in this adventure.
Once upon a time, in a quaint little village, there lived a curious kitten named Whiskers. Whiskers had a sleek black coat and bright green eyes that shimmered like emeralds when the sunlight caught them. He was known for his playful nature and love for exploring the world around him. One sunny afternoon, Whiskers was wandering through the tall grass near the edge of the village when he noticed something shiny glinting in the distance. Intrigued, he bounded over to investigate. To his delight, he discovered a mesmerizing crystal nestled among the roots of a towering oak tree. The crystal sparkled and glowed with an ethereal light, and Whiskers couldn't help but feel an overwhelming sense of curiosity wash over him. "Wow, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen!" exclaimed Whiskers to himself. He couldn't tear his eyes away from the mysterious crystal, and he knew he had to share his discovery with his friends. With the crystal clutched in his tiny paws, Whiskers scampered back to the village, eager to show off his newfound treasure. As he approached the main square, he spotted his friends, a wise old owl named Hoot and a friendly squirrel named Nutmeg, chatting by the old oak tree. "Look what I found," Whiskers called out as he bounded over to them, the crystal still aglow in his paws. Hoot and Nutmeg marveled at the crystal, amazed by its mesmerizing beauty. "Where did you find such a wondrous gem, Whiskers?" inquired Hoot, his wise eyes studying the crystal intently. "It was hidden near the oak tree at the edge of the village. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen," declared Whiskers excitedly. Nutmeg, however, furrowed her brow in concern. "That crystal looks magical, Whiskers. It might be best to take it to the wise old tortoise Tuck for his advice. He knows so much about the enchantments and mysteries of the world." Whiskers nodded thoughtfully, realizing that perhaps Nutmeg was right. With a bit of reluctance, he carefully placed the crystal in his knapsack and set off towards Tuck's cozy little burrow. As he trotted through the village, he thought about what Nutmeg had said. He trusted Tuck's wisdom, and he hoped that Tuck could shed some light on the mysterious crystal. When Whiskers arrived at Tuck's burrow, he found the wise old tortoise inspecting a collection of ancient tomes and artifacts. Tuck greeted Whiskers warmly, his wrinkled face breaking into a kind smile. "What have you there, young Whiskers?" Tuck inquired, his voice as steady as the flowing river. Whiskers eagerly pulled the crystal from his knapsack and placed it before Tuck. "Look at this, Tuck. I found it near the oak tree, and it's the most magical thing I've ever seen." Tuck studied the crystal with great care before turning his wise gaze to Whiskers. "This is indeed a powerful artifact, Whiskers, but it is not a toy to be played with lightly. There are ancient energies bound within this crystal, and with great power comes great responsibility." Whiskers listened intently, his eyes wide with wonder and a touch of apprehension. Tuck continued, "You must be mindful, young one. This crystal may bring great joy, but it also holds the potential for great trouble if it falls into the wrong hands. You must decide what to do with it, and remember that the choices we make shape our destinies." Whiskers pondered Tuck's words carefully, feeling a newfound sense of responsibility settling upon his young shoulders. He thanked Tuck for his wisdom and bid him farewell, promising to consider his advice with great care. As Whiskers journeyed back through the village, he couldn't help but feel a sense of unease about the crystal. Its enchanting glow seemed to dim in his eyes, as if it carried a weight and responsibility that he hadn't considered before. He knew that a decision lay before him, one that would test his courage and wisdom. Whiskers spent the rest of the day deep in thought, the crystal safely tucked away in his knapsack. In the evening, as the stars twinkled in the night sky, he sought solace on a hill overlooking the village. He gazed at the glimmering crystal, feeling conflicted and unsure about what to do with it. As he pondered, a soft voice interrupted his thoughts. "Whiskers, are you all right?" It was Nutmeg, the friendly squirrel who had followed him to the hilltop. Her warm eyes reflected the moonlight as she approached him. "I'm not sure, Nutmeg," Whiskers sighed. "Tuck's words have left me feeling unsure about what to do with the crystal. It seems like it holds so much power, and I don't know if I'm ready for the responsibility that comes with it." Nutmeg sat down next to Whiskers, offering a comforting smile. "I understand, Whiskers. It's natural to feel uncertain when faced with something so mysterious and powerful. Maybe it would help to talk to Hoot and hear his thoughts as well." Whiskers nodded, grateful for Nutmeg's suggestion. Together, they made their way to the old oak tree where Hoot often spent his nights observing the stars. Hoot greeted them with a wise nod, and Whiskers poured out his heart, sharing his fears and doubts about the crystal. Hoot listened attentively, his wise eyes filled with understanding. "Whiskers, it's important to remember that with great power comes great responsibility, but that doesn't mean you have to face it alone. We can work together to figure out what to do with the crystal. And remember, true friends will always support and guide you through difficult decisions." Whiskers felt a weight lift off his shoulders as he realized that he didn't have to solve this problem by himself. With Hoot and Nutmeg by his side, he felt more confident and ready to face the challenges ahead. The next day, Whiskers, Hoot, and Nutmeg gathered in the village square to discuss the crystal and the wisdom Tuck had shared. As they spoke, other animals from the village joined them, offering their perspectives and insights. Together, they brainstormed ideas and debated the best course of action. After much deliberation, they decided that the crystal should be taken to the Enchanted Forest, where it could be safeguarded by the ancient tree guardians. The Enchanted Forest was a mystical place, filled with magic and wisdom, where the powers of nature protected valuable treasures and artifacts. With a plan in place, the group set off on their journey, navigating through the lush greenery and shimmering streams that led to the Enchanted Forest. Along the way, they encountered various challenges, from crossing a swift-flowing river to outsmarting mischievous forest sprites. But together, they overcame each obstacle, their friendship and teamwork growing stronger with every step. As they finally entered the Enchanted Forest, the air hummed with a magical energy that filled them with awe and wonder. The ancient tree guardians greeted them warmly, their towering forms exuding wisdom and strength. They listened intently as Whiskers explained the nature of the crystal and the decision they had made to bring it to the forest for safekeeping. The tree guardians deliberated amongst themselves, their voices resonating through the forest like the gentle rustle of leaves. After much discussion, they agreed to protect the crystal, recognizing the pure intentions of Whiskers and his friends to keep it out of harm's way. With a sense of relief and accomplishment, Whiskers, Hoot, Nutmeg, and the villagers bid farewell to the Enchanted Forest, grateful for the guidance and support they had received. As they returned to the village, Whiskers felt a newfound understanding of the importance of making responsible decisions and the strength that comes from leaning on friends in times of need. But their journey was far from over. Little did they know that the crystal's true purpose was yet to be revealed, and that even greater challenges awaited them in the future. Whiskers and his friends had taken the first step towards safeguarding the crystal, but their adventure was only just beginning. As the village returned to its peaceful rhythm, Whiskers and his friends took comfort in the decision they had made to safeguard the crystal in the Enchanted Forest. They continued to find joy in their daily adventures, from playing chase in the meadow to exploring the secrets of the old abandoned barn. One sunny morning, as Whiskers and his friends frolicked near the village pond, a bright light suddenly pierced the sky, drawing their attention upward. A brilliant rainbow emerged, arching across the heavens and filling the world with vibrant hues. The animals of the village gathered to marvel at the extraordinary sight, their hearts swelling with awe and wonder. Suddenly, a melodious voice filled the air, seeming to emanate from the very rainbow itself. "I come with a message for the keeper of the crystal," it sang, its gentle tones weaving through the whispered breeze. Whiskers felt a tingle of excitement as he realized the voice was addressing him. "Whiskers, chosen guardian of the crystal," the voice continued, "the time has come for the true purpose of the crystal to be revealed. Bring it to the center of the village square at sunset, and all will be unveiled." Whiskers and his friends exchanged curious glances, sensing that a new adventure was about to unfold. They spent the day engaged in preparations, decorated the village square, and invited the entire village to witness the revelation. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the gathered animals, Whiskers stepped forward, the crystal gleaming in his paws. The rainbow's melodic voice resonated once more, filling the air with anticipation. "Place the crystal at the center of the circle," it intoned. Whiskers obeyed, setting the crystal down gently as the animals watched with bated breath. Suddenly, the crystal started to pulse with a mysterious light, and a breathtaking scene unfolded before their eyes. Images of the village's history, from the first seeds sown in the fields to the construction of the village hall, danced across the shimmering surface. The animals gasped in amazement, realizing that the crystal held the ancient memories and stories of their ancestors. As the vision concluded, the rainbow's voice spoke again. "The crystal is a living record of the village's journey, a keeper of its history and traditions. It is meant to be cherished and safeguarded for generations to come, ensuring that the lessons of the past are never forgotten." A sense of wonder filled the village square as the animals reflected on the meaning of the crystal's revelation. Whiskers felt a deep sense of purpose settle within him, knowing that he played a vital role in preserving the village's heritage. The rainbow's ethereal voice then addressed Whiskers directly. "You have shown great courage and wisdom, young guardian. The crystal holds the power to guide future generations and inspire unity among the villagers. Its presence will remind them of their shared resilience and the bond that unites them." With these words, the rainbow faded, leaving behind a trail of soft, sparkling light that seemed to infuse the very air with hope and promise. The animals of the village gathered around Whiskers, showering him with gratitude and praise for his role in protecting the crystal and unveiling its purpose. From that day onward, the crystal took its place in the village hall, serving as a living reminder of the village's history and the strength of its community. Whiskers and his friends knew that the challenges they had faced and the decisions they had made had brought them closer together and forged an unbreakable bond among them. As time passed, children of the village would sit wide-eyed in the glow of the crystal, listening to the ancient stories it held within. They would learn about the perseverance of their ancestors, the triumphs and trials that had shaped their home, and the values that had been treasured through the generations. Whiskers, Hoot, Nutmeg, and the other animals knew that they had embarked on a remarkable journey, one that taught them the importance of responsibility, friendship, and the enduring power of unity. As they watched the children of the village gather around the crystal, their eyes shining with wonder, they realized that the spirit of the crystal would live on, guiding future generations and weaving their stories into the tapestry of the village's history. And so, the curious kitten, the wise old owl, the friendly squirrel, and the other animals lived on in the hearts of the villagers, their bond strengthened by the enduring magic of the crystal and the lessons it held within. The end.